Hello, welcome to Milo on the Ready. Um, Hope y'all join. I have no restrictions. I'll get people up on panel, and we can discuss anything. Okay. My topic tonight is: what have you been doing to either prepare or train for everything that's going to come up? So I'm going to flat out tell you, if you want to come in and bash people, you're gone. Okay? Please keep it on the topic. That's all I ask. Honestly, the only reason I'm doing this is because there's a lot of you out there that just want to bash people, and that's what you're expecting tonight. Um, the wonderful thing about it is that I get so many more views and subscribers when I do this. So now I'm actually having a serious discussion about something. And I want to know what y'all think. So come on. I'm willing to let anybody up here on the panel that I'm willing to let anybody up here on the panel that as long as you want to discuss the topic. If you want to bash people, I guess start your own channel. I don't know. So here I am. And I would really like to know what you've done over the past week, or maybe even the past 2 weeks. Have you done anything to prepare for what's coming up? Have you done any training to prepare for what's coming up? And I want to hear from all of you. I'd like somebody to chime in and say what they're doing. And I've got both windows open so I can see the chat. Let's see what you all are doing. Because I know somebody else is out there. Just don't know who. At least put something in the comments. Say something. I know. I'm sorry. It's not a bash somebody night. I don't feel like doing that. Hey, Cindy, that is a very good thing to do. I don't know how big your dogs are. Milo's a big boy, and he'll go through 50 pounds a week. I have actually been looking at recipes online to dehydrate certain dog foods to be able to pack them up so that I have those in the future. Maybe something to look into. I think it was you can actually use any kind of ground meat and then sweet potatoes. Unfortunately, I was looking at it at work. I have the recipe. I fold it up. I put it in my backpack. That's where it's sitting right now. But there are so many actual recipes for preserving dog food. And that's one thing we always have to look at. I mean, it's not just about me. I got Milo too. And I think our pets, especially like Milo, where he's a little bit more than a pet. He's family. Um, no, he's not family. Milo taught me something very early on when I got him. Is he's not part of a human family. He has allowed me to join his pack, and I look at it that way now. And families are great, but the pack looks out for each other. And I've seen so many problems with families where they don't look out for each other. But Milo looks out for me. I look out for him. It, it's a pack mentality. And no, Cindy, they don't. No, no. They don't eat as much as three little dogs do. Milo would actually eat three little dogs. That's the problem. And I keep looking out there because he's laying on the floor, just being the bestest little boy he can be. When he wakes up, he's 3 years old. He's a freaking toddler. Get out of the windows. Get out of the curtains. Get out of that cabinet. Can you lay down for a little bit? But then when he lays down at your feet and you scratch him, that's the best time of all. when he's laying there, just calm as can be, and let him be. Sorry, just heard a funny noise outside my window. Not sure if it's an owl or somebody freaking around my circuit breakers. I don't know. If I go off, it was somebody freaking around the circuit breakers. Then we're going to have to get upset with people. Okay, now I know that with everything that's going on in my life, I know I started this channel with a Milo that was not the Milo now. A very untrained Milo. Due to circumstances that Milo was taken from me, I went to the shelter and looked for a specific dog, but his name had to be Milo. And I got pictures and everything of this incorrigible beast. Is actually, his name is Milo. And the first time I called his name, he ran to me. And I led him around, and he did his business. And then then it was like, okay, well, we have to check and make sure everything's okay for you to get him. So they put him back in his room, which I could see. And the funny thing is he tore the shit up in that room. Kind of yelling, I'm going home. I'm going home. I don't care about the rest of you. I'm going home. And I got him from a shelter. But I always look at it this way. I did not rescue him. He rescued me. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I've done in the past that doesn't set well with me. And I've got mental issues. July 4th, fireworks went off. He didn't care. What he did care about was that I had to grab a hold of him and hold him tight. He didn't like it, but he did it. But now I have something to hold over his head. The other night we had a thunderstorm. And he doesn't like that. So now all of a sudden, he's up in my lap. I go to lay down in bed. He's right next to me. Hey, dude, okay. Remember 4th of July? Okay, we have to come with a deal here because we both have these issues. Big dogs, thunderstorms. It was funny watching him run around. Now, don't get me wrong. I did not let him just panic. I was there for him. But it was funny. And I think he was doing the same thing to me on the 4th of July. I don't know what. Okay, it's a little bit of fireworks, dude. Why are you panicking?
Yeah.
Don't need a little bit of thunder, Milo. Even actually tonight, I saw some thunder saw some lightning off to the north of us, and I thought we were going to get pounded again tonight. And I was really concerned about what he would do. I guess one of his favorite things is he actually knows my work schedule, and he will actually jump into my chair after I leave for work and kind of stay there until I get home from work. Then he rushes to the window and starts whimpering because he knows I'm coming in. And it's not like he has to go out or anything. He has been out. But he knows who Daddy is, I guess. Or in the pack mentality, he knows who the alpha male is. He's not the alpha male. I am. He's just a goofy dog. I think what really drew me to him was his head. He is an Akita German short-haired pointer. And Akitas naturally have very full, furry faces. So you cannot see their jaws or anything like that. But since he has a lot of the German short hair in him, you actually see that. And he's I guess you see a lot of dogs and they always have the same kind of faces. Okay, a German Shepherd has this face. A Doberman has this face. Pit Bull has this face. With him, with the Akita face and the German short hair, his face is more prominent. And if you ever actually look at him, it's an interesting face. And that's what I love about him. Okay, but to get back on topic, what has everybody done other than Cindy getting dog food? What has everybody else done to get ready for what's going on? Oh, I don't know if I can watch that. I will. I will try. But yeah. Come on, Cindy. I remember when Old Yeller was out in theaters, and I cried during that. Okay, that's that's how old I am. I actually saw that at the drive-in theater in Prescott, of all places. I don't even know if that drive-in exists anymore. Hmm. I'm actually looking it up right now. Let's see where I can get it. I see that I can get it on Amazon. It's going to cost me a few bucks, but you know what? I'm going to watch it. I really am. I mean, I freaking watched all the Benji movies. If y'all remember who Benji is. I've seen a lot of stuff about people and their love for dogs, and including one that his dog was he couldn't get around. He lived in California, but the dog loved the ocean. And although the dog could not get around anymore, he took the dog out, carried it out onto the beach. And I mean, pillow, blanket, because he knew the dog loved it so much. I want this to be your last moments. And you really got to appreciate that from somebody. I think the way he put it was, I know how much this means to you. I want to bring you out here and let you see this because I want you to know how much you mean to me. Really not trying to tear up here, folks, but I would do that for him. He likes to go out and bark at random shit. But if I got to put him in a wagon or something like that for his last days so he can go out and bark at random shit, I'll do it. Good evening, SHTF Engineering. Trying to get this back on topic. What engineering, what did you do this week for prepping? Either what did you get or what did you do? Obviously, you're back east. Because here it is still, I got 5 minutes to 11. That is good to hear. Water is always a good thing. As a matter of fact, I should put something up here. The other night, I said, "Hey, a storm's going to hit, and we're getting rain." And somebody said, "I don't think we're going to." And I said, "We are on the outskirts of the major city. We're going to get hit hard." Then he decided that maybe I should roll up the windows on my truck. And he decided, okay, he went out there, fired up the truck, got the windows rolled up. Before he got back inside, he was soaked. Welcome to Mesa. I I didn't actually go out and get anything prepping in the past couple of weeks. I will tomorrow, but I did do a lot of training. With the fuel prices the way they are, I actually take public transit back and forth to work. I live in the Phoenix Mesa area, and I can take the light rail to a station that will take me to a bus that will take me 15 miles. To another stop where I got to catch another bus for 2.5 miles to get to work. Last Saturday, I took my bicycle with me. And I said, I'm going to ride from work to the light rail station. Ended up being almost 17 miles. But I rode the entire way. I did it. When I got to the light rail, I was tired as hell. And apparently, I slept 90% the next day. But I did it. In Phoenix weather. And it was 109 degrees. But I can do it. And that's what it was about. It wasn't about the heat. The funny thing about the heat is while I'm riding, heat's not a problem because you got wind blowing against you. It's when you stop, that's when it gets hot. And that's what it was all about, was what if I'm at work one day and the shit hits the fan? I got to get home. I got Milo expecting me to be home. I need to be able to make that trip. I got to do it the fastest way I can. I'm sure that there are other routes I could take. Might be faster. Might be safer. But I can make that ride. Well, I also have to admit that 90% of that trip was downhill. But that's what I did. I made that entire ride. Well, it's not just water, actually. I did take a break. I stopped at the convenience store and actually got some Gatorade. I had some when I started, but I stopped at the convenience store, got some more, filled my clean canteen that I carry on my bike. I drank the rest, and if somebody come up there and go, Are you okay? Yeah, probably much more than you, because I that is the big thing about it is stay hydrated. When I got home, and the first thing I did was had a beer and then a few more, and I was completely exhausted the next day. I was gonna do it again today, but the problem was is that the humidity was so high, and the pace I wanted to keep was just they weren't working to each other. Um, I'd like to keep about it. I want to run at 10 mile an hour at least. But the way the humidity was today, I would have to very casually ride. And so I didn't. I got to a point where it's like, okay, I have a bus pass. I'm gonna put my bike on the bus. Let's just get home. Because there's a there's a big guy that really wants me to get home. Very true engineering. Yeah, I had a case. It wasn't heat stroke. It was one level better than that. Was prickly heat. If you've ever heard of that, and there's stages of heat conditions, and I don't know if the Red Cross has ever done anything about it, but if you look at it, I guess any place, especially Maricopa County, their health system, the stages of that's what they qualified it as heat exhaustion, not quite heat stroke, but heat exhaustion. And you actually have to watch, make sure that those things don't happen. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, once you get heat stroke, that'll do you in. But yeah, I didn't quite get that. I got heat exhaustion, and it's a lot of we're gonna pump fluids into you, but you're okay. Here, drink this bottle of water. But I was the day that happened was um, I woke up, stayed inside most of the day, and then it was start drinking beer and go outside and do stuff. So I dehydrated myself. I fully admit that. But when I go on a ride, when I go do rides, I make sure I have hydration. If SHTF situation occurs and I have to ride home, I'm going to have my hydration because I got a big critter that really depends on me getting here. And I'm not quite sure where he's at. Hang on. He could be. I think he's getting in trouble. Out of the window. Sorry about that. A while back, I was at one of the big box stores, and they had this pillow that said "reserved for the dog." As much as I said I don't need that, it came home with me. He is currently sitting at the Arcadia door with his pillow looking out the window. Yeah. I I had a very good friend of mine from high school. Um, her son was a massive drug addict, but he decided because of a daughter that he really didn't know he had, decided to clean himself up. Came back to the Phoenix area to be with near his mom, who was helping him with his daughter. And he hadn't been working but a week. And she announces that my son just died. And it was from heat stroke. And I know, living in this area for as long as I have, the optimal time to be traveling is not during the heat of the day. Travel at night. The real big problem is that Phoenix is a metropolitan area, and the asphalt collects the heat. That's why I like where I'm at. I'm not in that metropolitan area. I'm kind of on the outskirts of it. While they're getting unbearable heat, where I'm at, it's tolerable. I think that's the only way I can put it is, the heat is tolerable. But when you get into the Phoenix area, it's just the air stands still. There's no wind. There's no nothing. It's very stifling. Whereas where I'm at, tonight we had winds that were shaking palm trees. We have wind moving through here. Oh yeah, and yeah, um, my body weight will not let me drink a gallon of water. I mean, I tried doing that. I ended up almost being overhydrated, which is also a thing. You can actually overhydrate. People have died from that. No, Cindy, I didn't. I if we had it, I might not have been home at the time, but it's always a possibility because yes, the winds that come in from the east can pick up a lot of the desert sand. Mm, sorry, engineering. No, I cannot eat salt. I tried that when I was about 4 years old, and I went, "What am I eating?" I thought it was a sugar cube. No, it was a salt cube. Yeah. No, but that's why I, my last ride, I put Gatorade in my bottle because it does contain salts. Halfway through the ride, there was a convenience store. I took a break, grabbed Gatorade because it contains salts. No, I thought I saw somebody moving. I might have to shoot them. Um, but it was, and of course, as I'm trying to buy this one bottle of Gatorade, because that's all I can carry. I'm on a bicycle, for goodness sakes. You know, they're two for $6. That's fine. That's and that's a wonderful price. But I can only carry one. I will pay $3.99. Okay? I don't, but I'm gonna sit outside there and drink it for a little bit before I start riding again. So don't call the police on me. Okay. 5 minutes later, the police. Are you okay? Yeah. I'm. I've got a little bit more to ride, but I'm rehydrating. I'm taking a break. Do you have a home? Yeah, that's what I'm riding to. Can I see your ID, sir? And that was at the point where I went, no, why not? Because you're demanding it. I don't have to prove anything to you. I'm riding a bicycle. I stopped here. I got a drink. I'm sitting here enjoying the drink. And I'm going to pedal my ass on down the road. And you don't need to know where I live. Do we need to get the fire department out here? For what? Do you want them to come out here, find out I'm fully hydrated, and tell you to leave me the F alone? Okay, we can do that. I got no problem with that. Call them. Well, the guy inside said, I don't care what the guy inside said. He barely speaks English. I don't know how you understood him. Finally, police went, okay, as long as you're okay, sir. Go. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Police serve a very, very good purpose. This was not one of them. Guy riding a bicycle. You know what? How about this? I have a home. I have a job. I ride the bicycle to get from point A to point B faster many times than it would take for me to ride the bus. So maybe if you could actually, at the bus stop that I was actually going to be at, if you could take care of the homeless people that think it is their house and they're sleeping on the bench, do something about that. Don't hassle the guy that's sitting there drinking the rest of the bottle of Gatorade so he can continue on his way. Oh, you saw him. You saw it. Oh. Puppy night butt. Yes, there he is. And I guess that's where he stays most of the day when I'm not here. Yes. Yes, he is a co-host. And don't get me wrong, there's the homeless people do need help. A lot of it comes down to if they want help. And I've seen a couple different things. Where I work, the homeless people have kind of formed 3 or 4 person tribes. And they work against each other. Now, out here in Mesa, I actually went to a laundromat one day, washed the clothes, and I actually sat there and watched the homeless community back behind a bus stop, not interfering with anybody that wanted to ride the bus, but they were actually working together. There was actually one of the homeless people was actually doing bike repairs for the other homeless people. What do you have to trade? You have this, I have this tire. You need this, I can air it up. And they had a bartering system going on. And I was freaking amazed. But no, there's a lot of homeless people there. And if we really look at them, they either, well, nowadays it's changed, but before this health crisis, you either had two types of homeless people, and they were drug addicts or, and I hate to say it, mental patients. I don't know what we can do about that. I mean, mental patients, let's get them someplace. And I'm not a liberal, I'm very conservative. But at the same time, let's get these people the help they need. Mental health is a thing too. Oh yeah. Oh, engineering? I saw it. It. I wish I'd actually gotten pictures of it. Some of these groups on the outskirts here, they had actually taken shopping carts and pushed them as far as they could get them, and had a tarp stretched over it to keep them out of the at the time it was rain. Keep them out of the rain. But they had actually built a shelter out of tarps and shopping carts. They're not stupid people. They're not. When you get more into the urbanized areas, they have decided they don't want to be that way. They want to rely on others. I guess case in point, as I was leaving to go to work today, I go to the light rail and I go to the bus stop. That's 9 miles away. I had one of the homeless people here in my area come up to me and said, "Can I get," and I'm like, "I'm sorry, my hearing's bad. What do you want?" He says, do you have a pen?" A pen? Yeah. Do you have a pen that I can write something down real quick with? Well, unfortunately, I didn't. I'm like, I've never actually had a homeless person ask me for a writing implement. I get on the light rail. I ride down, 6.5 miles. I get off there, and the first thing is those people, "Do you have an extra cigarette? Do you see me with a cigarette?" "No." "What makes you think I have an extra one?" "Oh." "Do you have $1? I need to get downtown." Do you have $2 so I can ride the completely different mentalities? And I don't know what it is. Cindy, I would love to know where that's at because I'd love to go there. I could use the vacation. Jeez. No, we don't need to round them up. We don't need to round them up. But we do need to get them help. I have not had the chance to do it yet. And I got the camera, and one of these days, I actually need to take a week off from work. But I want to ride around on my bicycle and ask these homeless people, may I take pictures of you, see how you're living, see what you're doing? And I honestly want to take it to the city council and say, we have this problem. And these people really don't want to be out here. Then again, at the same time, Thursday morning, I was out at the light rail station, and here's this guy gnawing on his hand, and he's bleeding. And I'm like, of course, I'm a preparedness person. I have a first aid kit. Are you okay? But before that came out of my mouth, all of a sudden he found that piece of tin foil that had the scorch marks on it. If you're gonna do meth, I don't think there's much help I can do for you. And you're right. You're right. No, I haven't actually gone to the council yet, but those people that want to stay out there, we can't force them. But with everything that's gone on since 2019, there are a lot of people out there that don't want to be out there. They want to be active community members. But if we leave them out there long enough, they're going to follow the ways of the others. Like I said, I work in the Phoenix metropolitan area. And I actually sat there across the street from where I work. They were putting a towel over their head while they're smoking whatever it is they smoke. Okay? They all got up and finally left. But how many times do we hear that whatever they smoke can kill them? and I think, again, I'm not a liberal, but I think we need to put more. We need to put more stuff in place, and we need to help those ones out that that want the help. I I ride by so many places, old grocery stores that are shut down. You know, oh, we couldn't make it. We're shut down. The abandoned buildings, abandoned hotel complexes. If we could take one of these, revamp it, refurbish it, and make it for these people that want to get out of that situation, I think that would, it's going to benefit our community a hundredfold. Yes, there are some you cannot help. I'm not going to deny that. But let's help those ones that want that help. That's what I'd like to see happen. I might have to put, an old grocery store, get everything else out of there, and I'll have to put up bunk beds. Vets are going to be like, I remember this. But I mean, I'm not going to say I can help everyone, but there are some we're going to be able to help. Um, I work in the RV industry, and here in our area, the people that lost their homes, they suddenly took all of their money and sunk it into RVs, motorhomes, trailers, whatever they could get their hands on. And let me tell you, some of them were overpriced POSs. But it was all they could get. And my boss, my manager, he likes to go riding out in the desert. He went out there one day and says, you cannot believe the number of people that are actually living out there now. And it really has not changed. These people do not have, they got laid off. They got laid off. They don't have homes. They don't have jobs. Yes, the jobs are out there, supposedly. But They don't want to be living out in the middle of the desert. I don't want to live out in the middle of the desert. The desert sucks. It's hot. Yes, but Cindy, wasn't a lot of that money spent on um, safe places to do drugs? You're right, SHTF. They did. They did. I'm not saying there weren't people that knew it was coming. Um, the ex-wife and I applied for that too. We actually finally got it, and I'm living in the place now that we got, and some of that helped us out. I guess when it really comes down to people that are in real need, that's what it comes down to. I mean, you got a family living in a car, and the guy's out there trying to get work. I can accept that. The mama with 6 kids going, no, well, the government should give me. Yeah, okay. Maybe some daycare so you can actually go out and get something to substantiate the offset. Just saying. That's what we need to do. We got to look at it. We got to look at it case by case. But if you're not going to do anything for it, then I can't give you anything for it. That's if you're not willing to put it into the tax system, why should I give you tax dollars? Oh, I know that. What the? Yeah. No, I saw a news article where they had actually set up a place where in Seattle that it was bring your own heroin, but we'll give you a safe place and safe needles to use it. What the? What the hell? What the hell? and I've seen it happening for a long time. But when did the rights of the victims and in many cases the perpetrators outweigh the law enforcement? Yes, yes. We all did. Engineering, did you get a Novocaine shot? I remember that. I've heard. No, come on, it doesn't work. Come on, it's like Joe Biden's crack pipe theory. We know you're going to do it. Here's a free crack pipe. I don't do crack. What do I get? Nothing. Oh, well, what's the friggin' point? And, Cindy, it's a good thing they do. They arm them with that. I guess the biggest problem now is that is not being very helpful to them because of the fentanyl problem. Because it does nothing for that. And I guess the other half of me on the other side of it is, hey, if you want to do that and overdose on it, I guess sucks to be you. But I've seen videos of people that police officer, while they're doing a search, actually got fentanyl on his wrist, and it completely took him out. Fortunately, his partner was there to get him help and realize what had happened. And it was, we got problems. And I hate to say this, but the open border is not helping. They're catching some of it, but not all of it. And there's probably no way we could ever catch all of it. But we could possibly stop some of this. Oh no, a lot of police departments carry it also.
A lot,
Not all, not all. And engineering. Um, if we put them to death by public execution, I mean, I think here in Arizona, if we erected a gallows out in front and started hanging those MFs, maybe people would take notice. That was a big gripe between my grandfather and I. I said we should just put him up against a wall and shoot him. He looked at me and said, "Bullets are expensive. Rope is reusable." Okay, let's bring back hangings. I'm for it. I, I I've changed my mind. Yeah, drop one from the gallows. Drop one from the gallows and put it on the news. Shit will change. Okay, yes, Cindy, but what have they been authorized to carry? Narcan or ammunition? I just feel I don't know what it is, but, and I've been there, don't get me wrong, but I went to San Francisco in the very early 2000s, and it was a beautiful city. Yeah, you had a few spots that were sketchy, especially downtown. But the whole place is that way now. You've let these people, your government officials, allow this to happen. You're not funny. uh, but I mean, a lot of these towns, San Francisco, Chicago. I remember when I was growing up, it was Detroit. Detroit was, for lack of a better word, a shithole. All the companies left, and whatever happened to the people happened to the people. Chicago's starting to do the same thing. Los Angeles, in some ways, Seattle, San Francisco, I mean, just followed suit. So many companies are leaving those places. And the mayors and the governors, and they can't figure out why. Okay, engineering, I want pictures. I would love to see you go full bat. I really do. Yeah. Full cape and everything. Okay. But we got to have pictures of you going full bat now. Well, and this was like 3 or 4 years ago, is they were talking about the homeless people in San Francisco setting up tent cities in people's driveways. Oh, is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah. The Joker pew pew.
Joker poop pew pew. Don't listen to anything that man says. Oh my god, I haven't heard that one in a long time. DARPA. I was actually involved with that.
What? Get here. What the fuck is that dog?
Oh, I don't remember what underpass it is that I travel under. And the underpasses here in the Phoenix metropolitan area aren't that big. But they've actually got like 12-man, 8-man tents set up under these things. I just, and you drive by every day and you see them, and nobody's doing anything about this. And that's where I see the problem is there our city and or state officials are not recognizing this. I think our especially here, our governor in 6 months, he's done. He's done. He cannot be reelected. He served his 2 terms. He's out. And the worst part is he just doesn't care. Thank you. I was your governor for two terms. I get my pension. I'm out of here. What? There's an issue going on? I don't care. 6 months from now, somebody else's problem. Is it really that hypothetical? Because I know somebody else that'll go. Um, yeah, Milo does not do hypotheticals. Mm. Sorry about that, folks. I have tinnitus, and I don't know what it did, but it just set it off real quick there. I just saw something within the last 2 days that I want to say in California, they went into a homeless encampment and they found $100,000 worth of stolen goods. I mean, serial numbered stolen goods. These people aren't stupid. They're not. But I mean, I don't blame them. I don't want to work anymore either. But I also do not want to be out by the freeway holding a sign going, I'm hungry. It's, yeah. And again, like I said, there is that element of the homeless community. And a lot of the ones selling, they're not part of the homeless community. They're selling. They're making money. It's the ones that are using. Or the ones that don't want to be there. If we can get that element out of, for whatever reason, mental health, things like that, if we can get that element out of that community, the ones that are selling have no more customers. I mean, I know that 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, they finally legalized recreational marijuana in this state, Arizona. Tax revenue, blah, blah, blah. It'll be good for the economy. They did a study on it last year, and yes, it was cool for a while. Everybody went out and bought what they could. and they were having a great time. This last year, they actually looked at it and went, we're not making enough. And that's not the state. That's these dispensaries going, where'd the business go? It's not a novelty thing anymore. Get used to it. And just like a lot of companies through the health crisis that shut down, I suspect a lot of them are going to shut down too. Well, thank you for hanging with us, engineering. I do appreciate it. Somebody got a red laser scope. And I'm sitting there watching, and he's trying to F with Milo right now. Beauty of it is, Milo doesn't care. It's a dog, not a cat.
My dogs used to play with the laser all the time. Milo just looks at it like, okay,
Yeah.
sleeping.
Because he's not stupid.
Well,
He is an idiot, but Milo is not stupid.
that's to be debated.
Good night, SHGF. I can't keep this up much longer either. I need to drink much more alcohol. I'm also really surprised that there weren't a lot of other people that didn't join in, because I guess I had a serious topic. The last live I did was calling people out, and they didn't like that too much. Sure got a lot of views, and actually got a few subscribers out of it. And I was really appreciative of that. And I'm sure a few of them jumped in here tonight and watched for a little bit, but we had a serious topic, and they don't like that. But I'm thinking about doing this again tomorrow or next week. I don't know if I'm going to do my ride again. It's temperatures creeping up out here, but might show you everything that I've canned, showing that every week I do something to better my preps. So I think with that, everybody, do something. whether it be going out and getting something, going out and making something, going out and learning something. I think we all need to do that. And I think with that, I'm going to call it a night. Go out tomorrow. Have a great day. And stay safe. Thank you all for watching. Have a good one.